Hey everyone, this is F.A.K.E. F.A.K.E is a generative arpeggiator for Norns built around the idea of scale presence. And today I'm going to do this quick video where I will go through basically all the parameters. I'm not used to this, it's the first time I put my voice and I record something with me explaining stuff, so please forgive me, I'm not a native English speaker. I will try to cover all the stuff and still stay short if I manage to. Okay, so when you open up the script, you get this first page, which is a visualizer, where you have some variables you can control. We're gonna come here later. First, I'm gonna try to explain how the engine of this thing works. So here we are setting a scale, harmonic minor in this case, and a root note, which is C. And if I'm starting the engine, we see events are shown as notes emitted by this lower couple of antennae. That's because our scale presence value is set to none. Now, what scale presence mean is it's like the heart of this script. It has 4 levels, which are none, shown here now. Then we have low, then we have medium, and then we have high. So at none, the engine stays very tightly anchored, mainly favoring root and dominant behavior. Okay? And then at low, it begins to let in other intervals, but just like MIDI and color, so the lines open up a little while still feeling stable. Then at medium, it expands further and starts introducing more colored tones like seconds, sixths, and other less central intervals. And finally, at high, the full scale becomes available, but it still isn't treated as flat randomness because some degrees remain more harmonically attractive than others. So scale presence is not just how many notes are allowed, it's really about which interval functions the engine prefers at any given moment. Okay, then we have the octave weight, which is another parameter shown in the first page, which is this number here, sorry. This basically tells the engine on how many octaves it can move while generating events. Now it's just on the bass one. We can go below 1, below 2, then we can go up 1 octave, and up 2 octaves, and then we have a symmetrical behavior like plus and minus 1 and plus and minus 2. In this case 2 octave spread, it's just not a flat distribution. The central octave is always weighted the most heavily, nearby octaves are slightly less likely, and farther ones becomes progressive less favored. So even when the register opens up, like in this case, the line still feels centered rather than completely scattered. Okay, then I'm gonna just mention the fact that the third thing that somehow gives the engine instruction about what event to generate is movement weight, which is kind of under the hood. Because the thing here has some phrase memory, the engine remembers the previously selected pitch and it uses that memory to bias his next choice. So repeated notes are possible, but less favored. Small stepwise motion is preferred, while medium distant moves are still likely and wider lips becomes less common. So the melody doesn't feel like a flat random walk through a scale again. It tends to move with short range continuity and a bit of memory. So eventually F.A.K.E is not just throwing notes out of a scale. Every note is the result of harmonic priority, octave placement and melodic memory interacting at the same time. That's why the script can stay unpredictable but still feel intentional and musical. Now I'm gonna go through the controllable parameters. So I'm gonna come back here again on this main page later. Let's start from page 1. Okay, the first one is obviously note. You can also set the note through MIDI input directly to the Norns. The important thing to mention here is that this is pitch class only, so if you have a keyboard here, it doesn't matter where on the keyboard you play your C note, the script will always get just the pitch and not the octave. So this is basically setting the tonal center where the script moves. Then we have tempo subdivision, which can go pretty slow. By the way, this is based on Norns internal clock. And then it can go faster. Here, of course, we have our scales. I'm gonna just stop on Dorian, for example. And here we have scale presence, none, low, medium, high. Let's leave this at medium, for example. And here we have our octaves, as I told you before. Now on page 3, we have probability and sound. So probability basically says the engine how many events to trigger based on a probability. Okay, dynamics then adds internal level variation from event to event. It keeps the output from feeling too flat by introducing softer hits and occasional accents. And you can go from none to high. Then of course we have basic controls for our waveform. This is the attack. And this is the release. Here we have 5 different wave types. This mod 2 gives you a control on a secondary aspect of the synth voice, giving like extra timbre variation depending on the selected waveform. Then on page 4 we have a filter control. This is a low pass filter cutoff. Looks like there's a bug here. They shouldn't be linked, cutoff and resonance, not on this page. More about this later. Okay, then here we have an autopan control. We have the rate of the autopan. Let's set it pretty slow, and then the depth of it. Should hear it moving, make it move slow. And then if you crank it up, you can obtain something like a fast vibrato. Okay, on page 5 then we have a filter automation. So let's go back to the visualizer. Here on the visualizer, with the second encoder, you move this like I wanted it to be like a spark, an electric spark out of the pylon. Okay, and this is like a macro filter where we have the cutoff and resonance linked. Here we have a very high cutoff and a very low resonance. And then higher resonance and lower cutoff. So this macro filter here is controllable with an LFO here on filter automation. You set the rate, then you set your wave. I'm gonna let it on sine wave, and then you tell the engine the depth of it. If I go back to the visualizer, I should see it moving on its own. Now, to hear it, we have to have like much more events coming out. So here is our filter automation settings, and here we see the bass and the sweep expressed as frequencies. Now we have a timbre automation, which is so setting this on and giving it a rate. It lets the engine cycle through the wave types. And then we have different presets here. Anchor keeps returning to the home waveform and somehow punctuates it with larger jumps. Then we have pendulum. Pendulum sweeps forward and back through waveform positions. Braid interleaves nearer and farther jumps in a woven way. And then spiral gives you like a broader rotating sweep that avoids simple linear traversal. Okay, we'll set it to off for the moment. And then go to the next page. And this is another big piece of the script. So we have the possibility to automate scale presence. Okay, similar to the previous one, you set it to on and then you set a rate for it. And then you have an anchor, like the level of scale presence you are set in this moment. You can set it from here if you want, medium, high. I'm gonna set it on none, or you can also set it from here, none, low, medium, high. Let's leave it on none and go back to scale presence automation. And then when you play it, it will jump from different level of scale presence. Here we are at low in this moment. Now we jump to medium. Okay, and again we have some presets. We have blue, which opens upward and then relaxes back below the anchor. So if my anchor is not, it can't go below, but if my anchor is like medium, it can go down to none, for example, or to low. Then we have breath, and breath is like an oscillation around the anchor. Then we have surge, which mostly stays centered, but periodically expands upward. And then we have orbit, which moves around the anchor on both sides. So it makes sense to use it if I set my scale presence, for example, to medium. I'm gonna give it a bit more notes. Okay, and then on last page, which is page 8, we have another engine for automation, which works very similar to the scale presence automation, but this time it automates both tempo subdivision and probability. So you set the motion to on, and then you set a rate to choose how fast or slow you want it to go. And then you have presets, and these presets are tide. Oh, I'm gonna switch it off while I talk. Okay, so tide gradually opens and closes both even speed and density. Then we have scatter, which gives you longer sparse stretches interrupted by more active bursts. Then we have breath, which is like gentler and more even. And then we have latch, that holds one rhythmic condition for longer and then jumps. So now the script is running with like 3 levels of automations. We automated with the rhythm engine, the tempo subdivision together with probability shown here. We previously automated scale presence, and then we have our macro filter driven by the LFO. I can cycle through these things with the K1 and encoder 2. These parameters shown here, they update as the automation runs. So as you see, if I play the pattern, the engine, it updates stuff, but still I can set my anchor here. So if I want my anchor to be faster, I'm gonna set it like this. And also my probability, for example, gonna set it to 30%. So if I go here, set to 30%. So I see it's a bit confusing at the moment, but I want the possibility to both see what is happening with every event coming and also tweak the parameters. Okay, there's one more thing I should mention, which is the chord engine. Okay, now if I hold K3, I will get the engine to play triad of notes like chords simultaneously at a half or double of this tempo subdivision. tempo subdivision, so you get half of the events when you engage chord mode. Okay, there's another thing, the last one. When chord mode is engaged, if you also hold down button 1, the result is that the next available chord is going to be in freeze mode. And it will stay like this until you remove your finger. If you remove them both, you're back to normal behavior. Okay, this thing is quantized, so if you noticed when I stop the freeze, it doesn't cut out immediately. It fades out, and then the clock. And then on clock, the engine begins to emit notes again. Okay, finally, I just linked this Phantasmal Force by Arman Bon, which is an awesome micro full programmable MIDI controller connected to the Norns just to give some root notes as input and change them and let you hear this. Okay, every single parameter shown here is MIDI mappable from Norns map page. Here you have everything. Okay, so this is F.A.K.E. The script is downloadable and available on a GitHub page linked down in the description. If you give it a try, if you jam with it, please tag me or somehow let me know, because I'm super curious to see what people is going to do with it. I'm currently fixing a couple of bugs, like the one shown before where we had resonance and low pass filter cutoff linked even when they shouldn't be. And I'm also planning to add a couple more features. One of these is the possibility to save a scene and have like all your stuff and automation saved. So when you turn off and on the Norns again, you can recall that scene and be there where you left. Thanks again. Hope this didn't come out too long and hope the quality is decent enough to listen what I said. I mean, as I already told, I'm not used to this, but hey, there's a first time for everything. Cheers.